note, with less than 40 days left in this year's election cycle, and most polls showing Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump currently in a statistical dead heat. The candidates,
even though we know that's not true.
Can you let me read?
Let Rico read.
Of course. Sorry, Rico. I couldn't help myself.
Thank you. Don't make me turn into Black Jason today.
Oh boy.
Right. And former President Donald Trump currently in a statistical dead heat. The candidates and their parties are scrambling to pitch formerly fringe issues to voters that just might give them an edge at the ballot box. And while the Democrats under President Joe Biden have led rhetorical charge with Biden's toothless pardon promise that freed no federal prisoners and the HHS recommendation for the DEA to reschedule cannabis, the American people have yet to see any type of concrete legislation passed. Never to be outdone or allow a popular opinion grow without attempting to claim credit. Last month, America's favorite agent of chaos struck again. Donald Trump, aka Mr. Me Too, bucked the sentiments of many in his own party by claiming on social media that he also supports federal rescheduling, essentially putting the federal cannabis reform issue at a stalemate and forcing voters to decide which liar is more believable. So now the Democrats are forced to differentiate. It began with Kamala's cringe-worthy appearance on All the Smoke that I covered yesterday, where she not only expressed support for reform for the first time on the trail, but also took things a step further, claiming that she is actually for descheduling, a position long held by industry operators and supporters, as opposed to rescheduling as it has been pitched by HHS and the rest of the Biden administration. And now, eager to maintain their image as pro-cannabis party and get some kind of legislative win before votes are counted next month, top Democrats from key House committees are urging the DEA to expedite the rescheduling process. In a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland and DEA Administrator Ann Milgram, Representatives Jerry Nadler of New York, Frank Pallone of New Jersey pushed for a swift action following scientific review by the Biden administration. In it, they argue that cannabis has less abuse potential than other drugs and has accepted medical uses, aligning it with recommendations from HHS and the DOJ to reclassify cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 under the Controlled Substances Act. While the focus is on rescheduling to Schedule 3, which would ease federal restrictions, lawmakers also support exploring further reforms, such as moving cannabis to Schedule 4, 5, or maybe even full descheduling. Just throwing everything out there now. Nadler previously backed the MORE Act, which would legalize cannabis entirely, so I guess it makes sense. But the timing of the latest escalation obviously coincides with Harris's remarks this weekend and the final 6-week push towards November 5th. And Milgram, on her part, still has not responded to any of the pressure applied, and final action on rescheduling is still expected after a DEA hearing in December. Perhaps seeing last night's mellow-ass vice presidential candidate debate as what Harris and Trump could look like on weed. Maybe she'll actually save us all and do it, because I don't see this thing moving the needle at all. But those are just my thoughts as Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street for I9 News. What do y'all think? Y'all ready for this fucking election yet? I'm done with it.
I wish Coca-Cola in the drinking fountains is what it is.
I wish elections were year-round.
They're going to say it. Whatever they think they need to say to try to get someone to vote for them, they have no plan to actually do it. And they've been wishy-washy so far. My response is they're all full of shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then they're just going to all forget about everything when something else comes up. Something else comes up in November. Something else comes up in December. Like, oh, yeah, that's not our focus now.
Very interesting. Very interesting perspective from everyone participating in the poll today of who won the debate last night. Split 50-50, you guys, on Walls and Vance. Look at that. We have a very bipartisan group in the chat today.
I don't know.
JD Vance did really fucking well.
Yeah,
First
he
of all,
did.
I was impressed. And also, you know,
He's more
JFK
polished.
won partially because women thought that he was pretty. And the internet is blowing up over JD Vance's icy blue eyes.
Yes, and they were, and I saw the lefties were trying to say that he had too much mascara on, but you said that he just has long eyelashes. Is that right, Jenny?
He
Beth?
just has long eyelashes. He just has really pretty eyes.
Yeah, he laid off the eyeliner last night. I was surprised. You know, he was in the spotlight, and he didn't put the eyeliner on, and I thought he was very polished. He was.
You know
doing
what,
a
Rico?
whole bunch. What?
If my eyes were that pretty, I'd do everything I could to make them bitches pop too.
Look at that, Jenny Beth.
I'm just saying, like, I felt like
they were beautiful.
I felt Tim Walz lost a lot of opportunities to clap back at the one debate where they were allowed to clap back and check each other. I felt like he just really didn't do so. I didn't think he got
checked. He got checked when he was speaking out of turn, and had to apologize. But also, Tim Walz just looked like shooketh. Like he just kind of looked frantic. He kept grabbing his paper, writing down notes, forgetting what his notes were. He was speaking really fast.
You know what it was?
Gave us a lot of information.
You know what it was, Jenny Beth, is that Tim Walz doesn't wear earrings, so he couldn't have someone speaking in his ears like during the presidential debate.
We'll bring it back to cannabis, man. Neither one of them brought up cannabis, and cannabis has not been mentioned in either of in the debate with Kamala Harris or with Donald Trump when they were going against each other. And I just don't believe any of this shit. I think they're just trying to stay in the news cycle, and we are on the back burner. It does not matter.
It's not going to be brought up when they're in the White House either. So yay!
Yep. I do find it super interesting that the the Democrats are asking for this whole process to move faster, and then you have Kamala basically kind of sidewinding the whole efforts by saying that she's in support of descheduling, which would eliminate all of these whole processes that currently the DEA and HHS and everyone is going through.
Well, maybe that's what she should do if she wants to actually win this shit, and she's actually serious about that shit. Why don't she say, like, she will put forward an executive order to deschedule?
She can't do that. She can't do that. That's not how it works. No,
hold on. Let me finish. Can I finish my thoughts, please?
She can't do that.
All right, so she can say whatever the fuck she wants. Does Donald Trump not? He says, I will sign an executive order to do whatever the fuck he wants. She can do the same damn thing.
So you're encouraging politicians to pander to voters. Is that what I'm hearing, Rico?
I'm not encouraging nobody.
That's the definition of an election cycle. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
literally what an election cycle is.
Rico
I'm not
is
encouraging them to do
encourager.
anything outside of what they do. That's all politicians do is pander anyways. Why the fuck not?
Rico is a panderer encourager. That is
sick.
official.
So once again, we've discussed another bipartisan issue. Once again, we've argued about this electoral cycle. Once again, we've all agreed that they don't give a flying flippity fuck about cannabis. Moving on?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I said.
I don't know. Dale, do you have any other thoughts on this, Dale?
Well, I try not to put too much in the horse race that went on last night. I still think there's some serious questions that neither side wants to answer because they flip-flopped, and quite frankly, some of them are twisting themselves into a pretzel to try and justify things they've said or done in the past. So I've been able to vote since 1972, and every time you get close to this, you need an antiemetic because it just nauseates the shit out of me watching people lie and twist themselves into pretzels, try and promise you the moon, but when it's all said and done, you don't get jack shit out of them.
Nope. And then we go to war again, and they're like, oh, yeah, we have other things to worry about.
Well, the world's got some problem spots in it, don't you know?
Yep.
A lot of problem spots.
Darn.
Prayers for Israel right now, but we'll keep that pushing.
Prayers for the whole world overall, because, the October surprise could just be World War III, but nonetheless, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. We're going to go to a commercial. We're going to be right back.